I had a patient admitted into a room at about 0130. He was alert and oriented. He was rolled in on an gurney and started freaking out about him. Can't we see him? That he's not going to stay in that room, and he needs to be as far from that room as possible. We switch his room assignment and get him settled. Later in the morning, I asked who he is. He says that we need to have the room exorcised. He is apparently a very angry dead mid-40s male. He didn't like another man in his room. That room was always really cold. Summer or winter, the lights used to come on for no reason. Come play with us, Katie. I worked at Cincinnati Children's, and there is a little girl who appears at the bedside of dying children the day before they pass, and tells them it's going to be okay. They even mentioned her as a household name in orientation. In Indy, at a children's hospital, we had a patient pass in surgery, but her room was haunted. A little African-American boy saw her one night and said, "She looks like me and has one of these and one of these," pointing to his central line and GT. She also had a central line and GT. Here in CO, I just stayed at the Stanley Hotel. It's the hotel that inspired The Shining. Stephen King stayed there and felt like his bartender was a ghost, and saw two little girls on the 4th floor. When there were no other guests, I woke up every 20 minutes to nothing, and had a sock on my perfectly made bed and a luggage tag, and earring on my spotless bathroom. The next morning I bought a book about the hotel hauntings, and my hotel room was in it, apparently. Things go missing in one part of the hotel and show up later in my room. They also have a wounded veteran donated flag that is a spot that has started to fade into a silhouette of the original owner of the hotel. Have a good night, doctor. I got called in one night for a bad case in the OR, and we were in the middle of it. And I saw a guy in surgeon garb walk past the OR door and continue on towards a dead end. We were at the end of the hall. I walked to the door and couldn't find anyone. Yelled out hello, and still no one. I had heard that there was a ghost of a surgeon in the OR. Don't swoosh her. Worked in an LTC where a cute little man would be clear over on one side of this twin bed, and when I asked him to scoot over so he didn't fall off, he said he didn't want to swoosh the little girl laying next to him. I guess there used to be kids in this place at some time. In the same hall, residents would see a lady in black who would go into rooms, and within a day or two, that resident would pass. I didn't like working in that hall at night. If you like video, subscribe now for latest new upcoming videos.